The rating problem deals with the determination of heat transfer rate for a existing system at a specified temperature difference. So this is an important line which I should highlight. So just look at the phrase again, that to determine the heat transfer rate from an existing system at a specified temperature difference. So there are two words which you should look upon. First one is the at a specified temperature difference, and that too for an existing system. For example, take the refrigerator coil at the back, which is situated at the back. So here the coil is fixed. That means the size of the coil is fixed, and for this specified coil size you have to determine that how much heat will be transferred for a given temperature difference. Just look at the last line. Specified temperature difference means for a given temperature difference what will be the heat transfer or the rate of heat transfer. The next was the size problem. What was the size problem? The size problem deals with in how much should be the size of the equipment. Just listen to it again, that what should be the size of the equipment. That means the diameter, the area, its volume, what should be these quantities in order to achieve the specified rate of heat transfer. For example, again taking the refrigerator coil which is situated at the back of your refrigerator. So if I want to determine that this is the heat transfer which I should achieve, so what should be the diameter of the coil under the specified temperature difference. The specified temperature difference here, for the example, specified temperature difference in this particular example, which example? The example of refrigerator coil which is situated at the back. The specified temperature here means the first is the ambient temperature or the atmospheric temperature, and the second one is the working fluid temperature which is flowing inside the tube. So this is the specified temperature difference. Now you may ask, sir, but the outside temperature is varying according to season. So I am agreed with you, but for a general term, if I talk to about that, okay, for a particular in a range of temperature difference, that means if outside temperature, the average mean temperature outside is 30 degree centigrade and the inner one is fixed, then what should be the heat transfer rate? So I think this one is the clear point. Clear. Proceeding to the next part, the concept of mechanism of heat flows. So what does this mean? This means that in how many ways can the heat can be transferred. So you must be knowing this one, and this topic is taught right from your childhood, that heat can be transferred from in three ways. The three ways are, I think you must be knowing. First one is conduction, second is convection, and third one is radiation. So these are the only three methods through which heat can be transferred. Now, now you must ask, sir, we have studied this in our childhood, then what about then why in engineering? So here some advances are there, some, not only some, but very much advances are there at present. Continuing to the topic. So what is a conduction? So conduction is, you must be knowing that a heat transfer, for an example, if I take the example, the heat transfer from a solid rod from one end to the other end is by conduction. So how does this take place? this for example, you heat one end of the solid rod. Let I take the example of a steel rod. If you heat the one end, the other end will automatically heat it up after some time. So why it gets heated up? The answer is very simple, and you must be knowing it, that if I heated one end, then molecules will get excited, take absorb the heat, and by vibrating it's on its own axis. As you must be knowing that in solids the molecules or atoms are closely packed. So by vibrating about its own axis, the heat will be transferred from one molecule to another molecule, and so on till it reaches the other end of the rod. So in this way the heat is transferred. So this is the thing which I have written in the present paper. You can just look up that conduction is the transfer of energy from more energetic particles of a substance to the less adjacent energetic particles as a result of interaction between the particles. So what I have said is just written in technical words, that the energy is transferred from one particle to another particle, but obviously the another particle which is absorbing heat will be less energetic as compared to the who is given the energy. So the next point, conduction can take place in solids, liquids and gases. So this is a somewhat an advancement which you might not be knowing from your previous classes, that conduction can take place in solid, liquids or gases. Just now I have taken the example of only solids, but in liquids and gases also conduction is present. However, their value is very low. Why? Because the molecules are not closely packed as compared to liquids or gases. This aspect is written in the next paragraph, which you can see. In gases and liquids, conduction is due to collision, okay, and diffusion of the molecules along during their random motion. So what is the diffusion? Just you must be knowing, diffusion means to diffuse, to absorb, to get absorbed into some other particles, like sugar is being diffused into water. Leaving this word for few more minutes, I will discuss it in next one to next minutes, few minutes. Coming to the part, in solids, it is due to the combination of vibration of molecule in a lattice and the energy transported by free electrons. So what does this mean? So it is written here that conduction in solids actually happens because of vibration of molecules in a lattice and the energy transportation by free electrons. Now the next part, the what is the rate of heat conduction through a medium, on what factors does it depends? So there are four factors on which the rate of heat conduction through a medium depends upon, of which first is geometry of the medium. That means whether it is a circular object, rectangular or cylindrical, and other geometrical means. Second, what is the thickness? That means if it is highly thick, then the heat transfer will take some time. As you must be knowing that or in your kitchen you can see that when tea is boiling or water is boiling, then you can just take up the cloth and wrap it 2 or 3 times and just pick that beaker. So here the thickness matters, because if you just pick up from a single without wrapping, then you can feel the warmth, the heat flow, and you can't even handle it. But by wrapping the cloth 2 to 3 times, you make it thick enough, and now you can handle, because heat is now being abstracted. So thickness matters in conduction. Now the next is material of the medium. So material of the medium is also of very prime concern in heat transfer. You must be knowing the copper and aluminum case when you are going to buy anything in market of electrical appliance. The shopkeeper says, "अरे भैया 100% copper है." So what does this mean? Because copper rejects because of thermal conductivity of copper, which I will give the example in the next page. And the next point is temperature difference across the medium. That means what is the temperature difference across the medium, means from one end to the another end. So you must be knowing that if you are heating from one end of the rod to the and the other end temperature is also same, for example, then it will take a longer time to get that amount of heat, because they are approximately the same temperatures. And if the temperature difference is uh, much far, for example, at one end it is 100 degrees centigrade and other end it is 5 degrees centigrade, then because of temperature difference the heat will flow faster. Now the taking in next coming to the next part. Now consider a steady heat conduction through a large plane wall. This is a derivation. So here I have taken. Now look up the word. What is written? A steady heat conduction. Remember this one. Now you don't confuse it with the equilibrium and steady state. These are two different parameters. This thing must be taught in your basics of mechanical engineering and applied thermodynamics. That is, steady state and equilibrium are two different things. So in heat transfer, again I am repeating the same thing once again. In heat transfer, the equipment is the equipment is what? The equipment is under steady state but a non-equilibrium condition. Okay, now proceeding to the theoretical part. Consider a steady state conduction through a plane wall. Now heat is being transferred from a plane wall whose thickness is delta x equals to L. Okay, and the temperature difference across the wall is T2 minus T1. So here it is T2. T2 refers the final temperature and T1 refers the initial temperature. Okay. Now experiments were done to determine the heat transfer rate across this system, and it was observed that rate of conduction, what I said, the rate of conduction through the plane layer is proportional. Now just look up these sentences. Is proportional to the temperature difference across the layer. What I have just said right now is now written up here, that heat transfer depends upon the temperature difference and heat transfer area. So the more the thicker the area you have taken, the heat transfer will be affected, as I have just cited out previously in the picking up the hot water beaker with the help of your cloth. But heat transfer is inversely proportional to the thickness of the layer. Okay, that means delta x. So combining all these equation, the combined equation can be written as rate of heat conduction is directly proportional to area, temperature difference and thickness, or in numerical format and breaking the sign of proportionality. So after this, as you break the sign of proportionality, I introduce the proportionality constant K, where K is the thermal conductivity of the material. Okay, or in the limiting case, that means q equals to minus of Ka dt by dx. So the thing which I want to take up here is the negative sign. Just look at that one, the negative sign. So what does this show? Negative sign. What it represents? It represents that heat is transferred in the negative direction from higher to the lower one, and this equation is also called Fourier's law of heat conduction. So here I just want to add up that this equation is experimentally verified and theoretically no such proof is present. Okay, now proceeding to the next part. So what does dt over dx means? So dt by over dx is the temperature gradient. So dt over dx is the temperature gradient or slope on the curve on a Tx diagram. That means if you draw a Tx diagram, what does Tx diagram means? Temperature and location diagram. Then dt over dx gives the temperature gradient at that particular location. Now the another thing, heat is conducted negative direction. Heat is conducted in the direction of decreasing temperature. So that is why a negative sign is put it there. As you can see, becomes negative when temperature decreases with increasing x, because you are increasing on the x direction but temperature is decreasing on a decreasing temperature. Now as said earlier, the constant of proportionality K is thermal conductivity of material. And what does it signifies? It signifies the ability of a material to conduct heat. So what does this mean, the ability of material to conduct heat? This means that how faster the heat can be conducted through a medium. So again citing out the same example, which when you go to buy a fan, then the shopkeeper says, अरे भैया 100% कॉपर है, एल्युमिनियम नहीं लगाया है. So because copper can transmit much faster the heat as compared to the aluminum. Now this fact will be explained more clearly in the next few pages. Now the important point is that heat transfer area is always normal to the direction of heat transfer. So what does this means? That in heat, whenever you are transferring heat, whenever you are assuming heat, then it is always perpendicular to the area assumed. So this is an important concept which you must remember. If I say, then you must going one page back, you must see that heat is transferred along this direction. You must see that this is in this direction, that is perpendicular to area, and this is written here also, that heat is transferred perpendicular to the area. So this was an important concept and you must write it down. Now coming to the next top point. So coming to the next point, thermal conductivity. So before I proceed, I have just cited you and 2 or 3 times that whenever you go to buy a fan, the shopkeeper says, "अरे भैया 100% copper है." So why you are insisting on copper? The answer lies here. Before that, just have a look of what does the thermal conductivity means. Just look at that one. So thermal conductivity. So as I said it earlier, thermal conductivity is measure of material's ability to conduct heat. That means how faster can heat be conducted. So I have taken an example here. Just consider the example that thermal conductivity of water is this much and thermal conductivity of iron is this much. That means thermal conductivity of water is 0.607 watt per meter degree centigrade, and for iron it is 80.2 watt per meter degree centigrade at room temperature. So what does it indicate? It indicates that at room that iron conducts heat more than 100 times. As you can see the difference between the two values, it is approximately 100 times. So that's why iron can conduct heat approximately 100 times faster than the water say. So that's why I can say that on this data that water is a poor conductor of heat as relative to iron. So therefore thermal conductivity of a material can be defined as rate of heat transfer. Now just look at the definition what I am saying to you here, and just go to this one also. Thermal conductivity of a material can be defined as rate of heat transfer, okay, through a unit thickness. What I said, unit thickness of the material per unit area per unit temperature difference. Okay, so that means what is the temperature difference per across a unit area, then the amount of heat transfer represents the thermal conductivity. Just taking a example. So if I say thermal conductivity, now the explanation why a shopkeeper always says that it is 100% copper. So the thermal conductivity of copper is 401 watt per meter degree centigrade. So what does it indicate? It indicates that if I take 1 meter thick copper wall, okay, 1 meter thick copper wall, then 401 watt, then 401 watt heat will be conducted. Now listen to these words again and again. What I am saying, that if I take a 1 meter thick wall, then a heat of amount 401 watt will be conducted for per temperature difference, per degree temperature difference. That means if the 1 meter thick copper slab is having a unit temperature difference, then 400 watt 1 watt heat will be conducted per meter square. Okay, now look up this definition again. Okay, so now I think this so a larger value of thermal conductivity, what does indicate? That it is a good conductor of heat, and a low value means a low thermal conductive, a bad conductor of heat. Although after copper there are also materials which can conduct heat faster, but they are precious materials like gold, silver, okay, which can't be used. So we are using, that's why copper, that is the best material under economical conditions. Now the last definition in this topic is thermal diffusivity. As I cited you previously also, diffusivity or diffusion word was also occurred previously also. So here its definition. So the product of rho means specific volume into specific heat is called the heat capacity of the material, and both represents the heat storage capability. So what is you must be knowing from your first level course, that is basic mechanical engineering, that specific heat denotes the heat capacity, yeah, heat storage capacity, or the how much heat is required to change its temperature, where now the its product with rho is called heat storage capacity. Okay, now thermal diffusivity of a material is defined as heat conducted over heat stored. Okay, that means K upon rho into Cp, and its unit is meter square per second, and it represents how fast heat diffuses through a material. That means in a fluid medium, how fast the heat will diffuse. The larger the thermal diffusivity, the faster the propagation of heat into the medium. So the larger its value, as you must be knowing, if it is diffusing very fast, then heat is traveling at a faster rate, and a small value of thermal diffusivity means the heat is mostly absorbed in the material and less is transferred into the forward direction. So hopefully you have understood some of the basic definition. In the next lecture, some more I will teach you about the convection and the radiation concepts. Thank you.